Hi, it's Andy Phillips here and welcome to this section. We're going to be talking about workflows. This is a brand new thing that's come into the high-level software, and it's a way of creating your funnels using workflows rather than going through using triggers and campaigns. And it's a really cool way of doing it. In fact, I think it's going to be the future of the way high level works. I think this is the way they're going to be going in the future, to make it as simple as possible for you guys to create funnels very, very simply in a very organic way, but also a very logical way. People use workflows all the time. So we're going to go through how to do that. And the way I'm going to do it in this video is to create a very, very simple lead generation funnel. This is something that we all do. We always create these little funnels, little lead gen funnels, which are sort of top end of funnel type of funnels. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go through the process that I normally go through when I create a simple funnel like this. But I'm going to use the workflows to control what happens within that funnel. And I think you'll see that it's a lot easier to do it this way, a lot more intuitive, and you can do them very, very quickly. I mean, I'm not going to be on here long doing this. I'm going to create a whole funnel with a workflow. So I'm going to start by going to marketing. And the very first thing we need to do is to actually create a form. So we're going to go to Form Builder and create a form. So this is a test account, so there's hardly anything in this. But if we just go to create a form, and whenever we do this, you'll see that this is really, really simple. It's really, really fast to do. And this is the sort of process I go through, checking everything through and making sure things are working and stuff like that. The very first thing I do is I go over to options and actually name the form. So I'm going to call this test 101 form, and I'm just going to put in brackets LM for lead magnet, so I know that's a lead magnet. Now, all we do with this, we don't have to touch anything in here because everything's going to be controlled by the workflows, which is a really cool thing to do. So I'm going to go back to fields, and I'm just going to pull in these. It's just drag and drop. First name, last name, and email. And of course I want a button, which is right at the bottom in there, and we can change the wording on the button very simply by just going in here, and I'll just put in download. I'm doing very generic things in this. I'm not thinking about what the thing looks like or anything like that. There's no aesthetics going on here. It's just like I'm just showing you the flow of it all. So I don't need to integrate form, I just need to save the form. So the form is now saved. In fact, what I'm going to do with this, I'm just going to pull this out to full because I quite like it that way, and I'm going to save the form again. Now, the next thing that we do is we're going to build our pages that we're going to put this form into. And so I'm going to go down to funnels and websites, and we just go to funnels, and I'm going to create a brand new funnel, and I'm going to call this test 101 lead gen funnel. Right, you can call this whatever you want. You call it something specific to your own need. But now we've gone into the funnel build, and this is where we can actually build the steps of the funnel. So I'm just going to quickly create something. So I'm going to call this landing page 101. I'm just putting 101 in everything so I know it's this one, and I'm going to just create a delivery page. So that's a two-step funnel. So you've got two steps. You've got the landing page where people land on, they'll put their email in, and then they'll go straight to the delivery page. And what we also want to do is to trigger an email with some information and the link to the delivery page in. So that's what we're going to do within the workflows. So now we've got them out and running. And all I want to do is I want to just quickly jump in here and just edit these pages so there's something on them, so it sort of looks a little bit like a landing page. So I'm just stick a hand in here. This is my awesome landing page, and and I'm just going to put a video in. You can put whatever you want in. You put a Vimeo video in here, a YouTube video, whatever you want to do, and I'm going to stick a button in here. And this is important because what I'm going to do is I'm going to configure the button with the form. And that's through a pop-up. So I'm just clicked on the actual button field here, and what I'm going to do is just take a look down here and make sure that it says link to pop-up. Now it can go to lots of different things here. So again, with GoHighLevel, it's an incredibly sophisticated piece of software, which basically means there's a lot of things you can do. You have loads of options. The problem with that is always that there's always something you might forget to do. So this is why I'm going through this. I mean, I do this all the time, so I'm sort of used to it. But just make sure that it's set to open pop-up. So when someone clicks on that button, it opens the pop-up. And all we need to do is go into the pop-up configurator. And this is exactly the same on here, is exactly the same as any page builder. So you can put in exactly the same things as you put in a page. Now all you want to do is probably just put a headline in. So we could say download now. Just make sure I spell everything right. And we're going to put a form in. So the form we're going to put in, we have to pick. So it's a select your form. And we're going to do this test 101 form lead magnet. So that's that form gone in. And what we'll also do is we might put some text below this, which is going to be a disclaimer or something about you won't share people's share people's details and things like that. This the typical thing you put underneath there. You can put lots of other things in this. You can put anything you put in a page, you can put in here. So that's that done, and I'm just going to click on save. So we've got everything saved. We're not going to worry about SEO or anything like that. We'll do that in another video if you want that. So now we've got the pop-up done. We've got the landing page done. In fact, I'm just going to pull this up a little bit so it makes it a little bit more like a landing page. But you can do anything in here. You can colour the backgrounds and put loads of text in and pictures like we do. If you want to see, if you want us to go through sort of landing page design a little bit, then just give us a shout and we'll knock a video out for that, because it's again, it's one of those things that it's a bit of an art form, landing pages. So you really want to sort of just spend a little bit of time, and it's actually quite a good idea to find a really good landing page like and just sort of take some of those ideas and copy some of the colours over and the shapes and where they put stuff and things like that. We've also got quite a few templates on landing page text and things. So, you know, again, if you want those, just give us a shout and we'll point you in the right direction. So that's the landing page done. So I'm just going to save that. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to do exactly the same on the delivery page. So since this comes up, so go to the delivery page. I'm just going to quickly go into edit, and again, just, you know, one column, put a headline in, and I'm just going to put download now and pull the font size up. And what we always do, or what we tend to do most of the time, is when we're delivering something, we always put a video in just to tell people exactly what to do. And also, this is a good place to put in little bits of information, like, you know, if we've sent you an email with a link in and some more information, just make sure that you whitelist the email so you don't lose any emails from us. Because what you might do is put another group of emails on the back of this, maybe in a few days' time, to sort of follow up and upsell or whatever. So there's quite a few things you want to do, and of course you want to put a button in this. This button will go to a URL, and the URL that you'll put in here will be the URL to whatever the PDF is, for instance, or if it's a page that you want to send them to, or whatever the download is, the giveaway is. That's where you put that. But you just got to make sure you configure it that it's not on a pop-up. So just click on the actual field, go down to the bottom and tell GoHighLevel, the software, exactly what you want to do with it. So you'd put that in and you can open it in a new tab and things like that. So a PDF is really good. You can put that into something like Google Drive or something like that, that's a perfect place to put it. Google Drive, just put the link to the Google Drive in the PDF from the Google Drive, get it straight in there, and you can deliver that straight away. So now I'm going to save that. So we've got two basic pages sitting in our two-step funnel. It's the landing page and the delivery page, and that's all done. So now you've got the form in there, and now you just got to trigger what actually happens. And this is where workflows comes in. This is where workflows works really, really well. So we're going to go over to workflows, and I'm going to create a folder for this first. So this is LM, so it's a lead magnet test 101 landing page. So I know exactly where it's coming. I better spell it right though. So I know exactly where it's coming from, and naming everything really, really well. Start thinking about what your naming convention is going to be, because it's really important. If you just build stuff and don't name anything, you're going to get in a real mess very, very, very quickly. So now we've got that, I'm going to go into this and actually create a workflow within that folder, and it gives you lots of options here. There's loads of different recipes you can use. I'm just going to go from scratch because it's so simple to do. So I'm going to go create a workflow from scratch, and now we need to add a workflow trigger. So what is this workflow for? Now what this is for is when someone fills out a form, we want this workflow to start. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to put, again, lead magnet test 101 landing page, so I know where it's coming from. It's got a option here between CRM and Facebook. You keep it on option, so you keep it on CRM if you're working within a workflow in a funnel. That's what you do. It's all within the FunnelCentrix or the high level software. And now we want to do is choose a workflow trigger. So if you look at this, there's lots and lots of things there. There's appointment, birthday reminders, call status. There's things like custom date reminders, contact tag. It just goes, there's loads of things in there. Again, it's very sophisticated software. You've got lots of options. You can do basically anything you want to do with this software, which is why it's so good. You can even start doing things like membership triggers or granting access to membership sites and things like that. The one we want is just down here, and this is form submitted. So in other words, this trigger is going to be triggered when a form is submitted. So we've got that now, and just underneath form submitted it's got add filters, and this is really important because what we're going to do is we're going to select the actual form. So we click on select and we say form is, and then we select the form that we want. So it's this test 101 form lead magnet. This is why it's so important to name them. If you don't name these properly, you'll just have a list of forms that you have no idea what they are. So test 101 form for the lead magnet, I'm going to click on that. So when this form is filled in, not any form, but when this form is filled in, it will trigger this workflow. So all we've got to do now is click on save. Now the first thing that we want to do is we want to just put a bit of a weight in here, because people are going straight into the delivery page. When people submit their form, it will just go straight to the delivery page, so you can deliver on your promise. But the email will go out about a minute later, so I'm just going to put it a minute later, so it just sort of delays it slightly. Now under here it's also got things like this is advanced window, which enables you to choose what times your emails goes out. Now for this it doesn't matter. As soon as they've submitted their details, gone to the delivery page, we want to basically send them an email. So I'm just going to click on save. So that's the first little one in there. Next one we want to do is we want to send an email. So we're going to click on send email, and we're going to do from name, and the from name is your company, for instance. So I'm just going to put FunnelCentrix in there, and then a from email, and I'm going to put this from support. and make sure this is right, because if that is an invalid email, this won't send an email. So you've got to make sure that that email is right. Then we're going to put a subject in, and I'm just going to put something like your download is waiting, and just put FunnelCentrix, so they know who it's from. And you can select a template. We never use templates, but you can do if you want. If you've created some templates, you can use one of those templates in here. I suggest that most of the time you just use text. We just type in text with links and things like that. It's much better for deliverability. It's much better for the ISPs and all those sort of things. So let's just create a quick email. So I'm going to say hi, and I'm going to go to the custom values, and I'm going to pick contact first name. Now, don't click on user first name, because it would say your name going out to everybody. Don't want that, so it's got to be contact first name. And then we want to put just click on the link below to download the PDF cheat sheet. Actually, I want to click on the link below to access your download. And then we want to put a link in, so we can put some text in. Okay, now we want to put a link into here. So what we need to do, we need to go back to the landing page and the delivery page, in fact the funnel where we were. So it's a good idea to just open this up in a new window. Don't come out of the workflows, just open up in a new window, go down to your funnels and click into here, and we're just going to sort a few things out in here. So we've gone to this before, we've gone to the workflows, and then we're going back to this just to configure this enough to put into the workflows properly. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to settings, and we're going to choose our domain. So you would have set up your domain already, so we're going to choose the domain, and I'm going to click on save. So now everything will go out under that domain, and you can see that the landing page now has the right domain, but the text here isn't what I want. So I can go to publishing, and I can change it in here. So I'm just going to put landing 101 in there and just update. Okay, and now that is our URL. I need to go to publishing and just put in lowercase to here. So delivery, and put that in there. If it's already been taken, it will put a little bit extra on there, maybe a number or something like that, which if that's not too much of a bother, then that's fine. But if you want to rename it so it doesn't have those numbers in, you can. So now that's our delivery page URL. So I'm going to copy that, and we're going to go back into our workflows, and this is where I need to put that URL. So we just click on the link here, and we're going to paste that URL in, and you can keep it in the current window. I normally put it into a new window. Okay, so that's that done, and you can test this email, but just for this I'm not. I normally do test them, but for this I'm not going to worry. I think I've got that basically right. Just make sure that that is okay, and we're going to click on save. Now that's basically done. That's really the whole thing done. But what I'm going to show you here is there's a few other things that you can do. If you wanted to add them to a pipeline, you can do. If you've already got a pipeline, you'd go to add update opportunity, and you select your pipeline. Again, name this. So I would normally name it lead magnet pipeline, but you can select your pipeline. So you could take, if this one is the one you want to use, and you can pick lead if that's the only one in there, or if you want to do this one, it might have different stages. No, that one doesn't. Maybe this one does. Yeah, this one's got lead, call, made, sale. So these are the sections of your pipeline. You can say, like, I want to put it into lead, and you can, give it the opportunity a name, and you can say the opportunity source. So for instance, if this lead magnet or this landing page is really only going to be for social media, then you can say social media. If it's coming from an ad, you can put it's from an ad, so you can track what's going on. There's quite a few things you can do with this, but this just adds things to the pipeline. I'm not going to do that in a moment. The other thing you can do is to tag contacts. So anybody who comes through this, you can tag in a certain way. So if you click on tag, again, name your tag. So I'll put this one in. This will be lead magnet test 101 landing page. Alright, just put test 101 lead magnet. Whatever you want to name it, it's up to you. And then you can select your tag. Now if you've already got one that's created and you just want to add that, so if I look down here, there's test 101 subscribe. That's one I've done before, and I can pick that one, or I can just create one. I can put a tag in here, I can type whatever it is, and I could put test 101 lead mag, and if I just hit enter, or actually if I just add a new tag, it'll add that tag in as well. Then everything that comes through this will be tagged with that tag, and then you just click on save, and that's it. So you got a tag in here, so you got to wait, the email goes out, and you got a tag, and there's loads of other things you can do. We'll probably go into workflows a lot more, because there's so much in workflows of how you can actually create stuff within workflows. But for this, that's done. So we don't have to go into triggers, we don't have to go into campaigns and things like that. We can just go in here, do the workflow, and it's done. Most important thing is we need to click on the publish and save. In fact, I've got to do what I'm telling you to do. So if I put so I just actually name the actual workflow, and that's it. That's really all that needs to happen. So we can go back over here, go here. Now we've got to make sure that this goes through to the delivery page, and so the one thing we must do, and this is just keeping an eye on making sure that everything's working okay, we go to pop-up, and this form we want to make sure it goes through to the delivery page. So you can see redirect action is at the bottom of this, and so at the moment it's got use action from form builder. We want to make sure it goes to the next step, so that's the delivery page. So now we've done that, we can save, and we can go back. So now we've sort of tied everything together, and you notice there's little things that you do, there's stuff you might forget to do, and if it doesn't work you think, oh right, I haven't done so and so, but that's basically all you need to do. Now you can take this and put it into here, make sure it's a nice fresh one, make sure you've refreshed it after everything. Exit pop-up's working fine, click on there, put your details in, download, and this will go straight through to the download page, so people can download it now. So that's all working, and the only thing we've got to do now is to have a look to make sure that the email's fired off. Now I haven't waited a minute, I'll wait a minute. Oh, it's gone, it's there already. So it must have been a minute, it must have gone for a minute. So the email's in there, click on that, this is where they'll click on that, and it goes straight through to download page, and that's it. That's a very simple lead magnet download page or lead magnet funnel built, all with the workflows. Really simple. If you've got any questions, just put them in the comments underneath, and we'll come to them as when we can. See you soon.